The neighborhood sat quietly on the edge of the city, a place most people passed without noticing. Narrow streets, old doors, small houses pressed close together, and lives built on patience rather than comfort. The people here didn't dream big. They simply hoped for peaceful days and enough to get by. Imran lived there. He wasn't famous, rich, or powerful. He was just a regular young man who woke up early every morning and went to work at a small general store. His paycheck barely covered rent, food, and basic needs, but his heart carried something far greater than his income. To him, it was about how deeply you noticed others. Every morning after sunrise, before the streets became busy, he quietly cleaned the mosque courtyard, filled the water cooler, and placed soap near the wash area. No one ever asked who did it, and he never told anyone. He felt that good deeds lost their meaning when they needed applause. In the corner of the neighborhood lived a widow named Zainab with her 3 children. Her husband had passed away years ago in an accident, and she survived by doing small sewing jobs. Imran knew the end of each month was hardest for her. He never knocked on her door or offered help face to face. He understood that dignity mattered more than charity. So, once a month, late at night, he would quietly place bags of flour, oil, lentils, and sometimes biscuits for the children outside her door and leave without a sound. In the morning, Zainab would open the door, see the supplies, and look up at the sky with teary eyes. She always whispered the same prayer, asking God to bless the unknown giver and never let them face hardship. Every day, school children passed by the store. Imran often noticed them, especially one boy named Ali. His uniform was worn out, his shoes old, and his eyes always lowered. One day, Imran gently spoke to him and learned that Ali's father was seriously ill and the school fees hadn't been paid. The school had warned that Ali would be expelled. Imran didn't rush into action. He thought carefully, cut back on his own needs, and saved what little he could. Then, through the store owner, he quietly paid Ali's school fees, asking only that his name never be mentioned. Ali stayed in school, and his dream remained alive. That year, heavy rains flooded parts of the city. Poor houses suffered the most. One family's roof leaked so badly that their children stayed awake all night, terrified and cold. Imran had been saving money for his own future, but when he saw their condition, he didn't hesitate. He bought metal sheets, hired a worker, and late at night had them placed outside the family's home. When the worker asked why he didn't want credit or recognition, Imran smiled and said that generosity worked best when it stays silent. Life, however, has a way of testing even the strongest hearts. A few months later, the store where Imran worked shut down. Jobs were hard to find, and soon after, Imran fell seriously ill. Medical expenses drained his savings, and for the first time he felt fear. At night, he lay awake wondering if he had been careless, if he should have saved more for himself. Then one morning, there was a knock at his door. A neighbor brought medicine. The next day, someone sent food. Another day, the store owner paid his rent. Help came from every direction, quietly but steadily. One day, Zainab arrived at his door holding an envelope. She looked at him with respect and said she didn't know everything he had done, but the neighborhood knew enough. She asked him not to refuse what little they had gathered for him. Tears filled Imran's eyes. In that moment, he understood something deeply. Generosity never disappears. It only changes form. What you give returns to you, not always immediately, not always from the same people, but always at the right time. With time, Imran recovered. He found work again and eventually opened a small shop of his own. He lived the same simple life, still helping quietly, still avoiding attention. And even today, when unexpected help appears in that neighborhood, people smile and say it must be the work of a generous heart that prefers silence over praise. Because real generosity doesn't make noise. It waits, and when the time comes, it speaks for you.